We have all tried a bunch of indicators out there, from the popular RSI to the legendary Ichimoku Cloud or even the old school MACD. But honestly, what we all want from an indicator is pretty simple: keep it easy and make it accurate. Something that can catch those momentum shifts, ride the trend, and then spot the reversal right when things start to change. And I think that I've found the perfect one. This indicator I'm about to show you gives you a clear buy and eventually a clear sell, simple and right on point. It is called the Smart Signal Assistant from Algo Alpha, who are actually collaborators for this video. Just look at how it performs on Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Each signal landing almost right at the turning points. No noise, just pure signals. So what really makes this indicator stand out are its settings. It automatically detects ranging candles and marks them in gray, so you instantly know when the market is moving sideways. You can also switch signal mode between trend or reversal, depending on your own trading style. Then there is the time horizon. It allows you to pick whether you want longer-term signals or the shorter ones. And maybe the best part, you can choose the signal mode based on how you trade, whether you are a swing trader or a scalping. This indicator got both covered. Honestly, it is more than just an indicator. It is like a complete trading system. You won't need to stack a bunch of other tools because it already comes with 5 options to help you read the chart and improve your setups. There are tons of extra features I'm about to show you, and they are what make this indicator one of the best I've seen so far. So let me show you the most basic way to trade using those long and short setups. On this chart, we've got a short, but I don't just jump straight into a position. Instead, I draw a trend line based on the previous move. Once the price breaks out from that trend line, it becomes my confirmation for taking a short trade. Right after that move, down at the bottom, we get a long, showing a clear momentum shift. And again, I draw another trend line, wait for the breakout, and that's my confirmation to go long. Now let's take things a bit further and explore the advanced features of this indicator with those 5 key options I just mentioned earlier. If you open the indicator settings, you'll see something called trend bias. And this one is basically a momentum indicator. When the trend bias ribbon turns blue, it means the market has gained bullish momentum. Now we've got another confirmation layer added to our long setup. What makes this setup really interesting is when a short signal appears above the blue ribbon. Now that usually means the market is retracing back towards the ribbon. In this case, I draw a trend line to catch a possible entry, knowing that the blue band could act as my take profit area. And once the candles touch the blue band, a long setup forms again, and you already know what to do from there. Now the other way around to this is when the trend bias turns red, meaning the market has built up enough bearish momentum to start making lower lows. In this example, after the breakout, the candles pull back to the red band. That can be a great entry zone for a short position. So let's move further and look at another powerful part of this indicator. In settings, you would find the fair value trail. It helps with tight entries and exits based on trend direction and market momentum. And from what I've seen, if you set it on long-term mode, it becomes even more reliable. Here's a good example. The candles push through the trend bias, and the fair value trail turns red. At the same time, we've got a short indication. That's 3 confirmations in one indicator for a single trade setup. If we move forward after that trade, we got a long setup. In this case, it actually performs really well. But since this signal forms below the red band, I personally wouldn't trust it too much, because the market still shows bearish momentum, and in these conditions, I prefer to stick with short positions only. Right after that, we got another short setup, and this time all the criteria line up. Both indicators are red, and that makes it a solid potential short. For a long setup in this case, once the candles break above both indicators, that setup can potentially be valid. Now let's check out the final element of this indicator, maybe the most important part of the whole system. In the settings, I uncheck the signal item, because at this point it is not really needed anymore, and you'll see why in a moment. So scroll down and turn on the firmament clouds, and set them to long-term mode. The first thing you'll notice is that it acts as a strong dynamic support and resistance zone. When candles touch it, there's often a high chance of a reversal. In this example, the candles reach the upper resistance zone. So I draw a trend line connecting that minor move. Since this cloud is such a strong dynamic resistance, I can rely on it. And as I expected, the candles get rejected and start moving down, eventually breaking the trend line, and that breakout could serve as a potential short entry. Once the candles reach the lower band, that is where I will look to close the trade. It is pretty much the same story when you see a group of candles sitting on the blue band. I draw a trend line. And since the band acts as a strong dynamic support, it shows the market is building enough bullish momentum to go higher. Once a breakout happens, I can look for a long position, aiming for the upper resistance zone as the target. So knowing all this, the Algo Alpha Smart Signal Assistant is now available. You can check out the link in the description or in the comments if you want to explore it in more detail. And finally, if you got any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer all of them. Until next episode, take care and trade smart.